Let's do this. Oh. Hello Fandorkables, welcome to this video. I am as always Pixiedust cosplay, and today I'm going to be doing a makeup test for Arwen from The Lord of the Rings. Now, some of you who follow me from earlier on will know that I've done this cosplay a few years ago. But since that time, my makeup skills have improved vastly. So today I figured it would be fun to try to do the look again. And then I'm going to compare it with my previous cosplay and how that looked. So that's going to be interesting. One of the reasons why I chose to do this look today is because I asked you guys, my followers on Instagram, what kind of makeup looks you wanted to see in 2019 and what my first makeup look of 2019 should be. Some of you guys suggested Lord of the Rings and particularly Arwen or Arwen. So Arwen it is. I'm going to be using a reference image of Liv Tyler from the movies that you can see somewhere here on the screen. So you'll know what what kind of reference I will be working from. So first of all, I'm going to put on some primer. Oh, lip itch. I'm gonna go in with a foundation. So this is the Fit Me foundation from Maybelline in the shade 100. So after that, we're going to go in with a concealer. So I will be using the Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. And yes, I am using my hands. If you got a problem with that, well, you know, don't tell me about it. What I am going to do now is I'm going to go in and do some contouring. So looking at Arwen in general, she has this very natural look to her face. Okay, so to start shaping the shape of my eyes, I think I'm going to go in with the Naked Basics from Urban Decay, which suits my complexion very well, seeing as I am pretty pale. I think I'm gonna go in maybe with this brush here, the blending brush, I think that's what that is called. So I'm going to try to do some shading up here just to get the right eye shape. I need to get like an up swooping shadow here. Alright, so that's already given a little bit of definition around this area. She has a little bit of circle or, you know, pouch going around her eyes, and I do too. So that's kind of just lucky for me. I don't really have to do much about that, but I am going to have to add a little bit more concealer because, as you can see, my dark circles are rather large and sort of pronounced. Before we get there, I'm going to have to add some more shadow here because Liv Tyler's eyebrows are situated a little bit more like this, and they're lower on the brow than mine are. So we're just adding from the inside corner of the eye here and up towards the eyebrow. I don't know if you can see the difference between this eye and this eye, but I think it's rather pronounced already. Liv Tyler's nose is a little bit narrower than mine is right here. So I'm going to have to do some contouring around this area as well. So first we're just gonna do the contour. So I'm just gonna start here by, you know, adding a bit of shadow. That'll make the tip of my nose look narrower. And also just continue up towards the bridge of the nose. And try to get like a smooth transition from the shade to the rest of your face. Because the more smooth of a transition you get, the more you blend, the more natural it's going to look. Okay, there. So we have a slightly smaller nose now. I'm going to have to maybe try to flatten my nose a bit here too. So I'm going to add some more just shadow on the wing of my nostrils. And I'm also going to add some to like the fold of my lids just to make that crease a little bit more pronounced, I suppose. just to add some depth, but we still want it to look fairly natural. Like you're not wearing makeup at all. Bitch, please. But before we go in with any more powders and contouring to the rest of the face, I'm just going to add more concealer. Because if you need to add more concealer, you always want to do that before you add more powders to your face, because concealer, like liquid concealer on top of powder, is just not gonna look great or blend well. So just going to add a little bit of highlight on the nose just to make this slim part stand out a bit. So I'm going to be using the shade Venus from the Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay, and then just gonna add a little bit of highlight to the tip of the nose and to the rest of the ridge. This will make it pop in photos and in general, and it will make people focus on the highlighted parts of your nose, and therefore it will seem smaller. Okay, so let's move on to cheekbones and jawline structure. So the thing with Liv Tyler's face is that it's pretty soft. It doesn't have a lot of angles, and it's a little bit more elongated, a little bit more oval than mine, so I have to slim down the shape of my face and add a little bit of cheekbone here, but not a very sharp cheekbone. It has to be soft. I don't know if you call this a blush brush or a stipple brush or whatever you want to call it, but that's what I'm going to use. And for this, I'm going to be using this NYX Contour Pro palette. I'm going to be using primarily these two shades down here. You can see I've used this one quite a lot. It's my favorite. So we're going to go down and try to create like a shadow that goes here from like my temple area down here in kind of like a soft swoop. And then we also want to just like create the illusion of a slimmer face by adding some more shadow just from around your ear and down the jawline. Of course, you might have to adjust this process according to how your own face is structured. This is just based off of my own facial structure. Now, her forehead. Liv Tyler has quite a large forehead. It's a little bit taller than mine is, but we can fix that by making mine seem a little narrower. I'm just gonna darken up my little chin here because I have a little bit of extra chin fat that doesn't need to be highlighted, so we're gonna make it dark just so it looks like it's not there. I'm gonna cheat those proportions again. She also has a very narrow chin, so we might want to just add a light shading here. I'm going to add a little bit of highlighter on the cheek. We'll also eventually add highlighter here. Once I start sculpting my brows and stuff, it's going to be helpful to give me the right look. I'm also going to add a little bit of highlighter here and here. So I'm going to just use the highlighter from my NYX Pro palette. You want to build upwards here along the cheek because Liv Tyler's proportions are very she has very pronounced, this is the most visible highlighted spot on her face in the photo. So we're just trying to copy that effect of the highlighted cheekbone. I might be happy with the way the contouring looked, so I'm just going to go in with a smaller brush with the same shade of brown as before and just follow that trajectory that I was setting up to begin with. Going to need a little bit of blush. I will be using a kind of muted pink blush from my IsaDora Face Sculptor palette. She has a little bit of pink going from here and up there. Okay, so now we're going to move into the eyebrows. So first of all, I'm just going to go in with a Easy Peasy Brow Gel from Makeup Mecca. And then I will also be using a brow pomade. It's the Perfect Brow Pomade in the medium brown from Makeup Mecca as well. In this picture, Liv Tyler, aka Arwen, has brows that go down here, they go up, and then they have like a little angle to them and continue down and out. And her brows go pretty far out, like they go all the way out here, and you can see my brows are not that long. So we're going to have to do a fair bit of painting. So I'm just gonna start here just to get the general shape of them right. That seems about right. And then I'm just gonna tidy it up a bit. And I just want a nicely sloping, thin point. How does that look? Decent. And then we'll just have to deal with the consequences later. That's future Anita's problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over with this brush again, just to fix some details. See if there's any unevenness going on. And then I'm just going to use this very generic eyebrow kit thing from H&M. Go over my eyebrows very lightly with some almost black pigment just to make them a little bit darker because my wig is really dark and I want the eyebrows to match the wig as closely as possible. And I'm going to now add a little bit of eyeliner and some mascara. So first of all, I'm going to start with the NYX Epic Ink liner, just on a thin line. I'm going to add a little Lash Impact Lash Primer from No. 7 Makeup. I didn't really think lash primers were a thing until recently. It seems to be doing the trick because it's not really a full mascara, but already it's starting to have an effect. I don't know if you can see that. Then I'm going to next go in with my NYX Worth the Hype mascara. So in the movies, Liv Tyler has a variety of lip looks, I would say. Some of them are very natural, some of them are more corally, pinky. Just to get some definition, I will go in with kind of like a berry colored lip liner and then use a slightly lighter lipstick in a pink shade. No. I'm gonna take off most of this. That's left a nice like dark pink tint, and I'm going to go over it with a Sephora lipstick that I bought a few years ago. It's the Sephora Rouge Shine, so it looks like this. So already that's looking a little bit better to me. I'm just gonna clean up some of the edges a little with a Q-tip. That looks fairly decent. So I am going to add my setting spray for that. I'm going to use the NYX Matte Finish. We are wearing the dress that I made a few years back. And we have the wig here. This is her. She is a little bit too dark, like a little bit too black, but I think she's still beautiful. This is a Wig is Fashion wig. Adjusting wigs is always like a bit of a hassle. There we go. Ah, there we are. The look is complete. This is the final look, y'all. What do you guys think? Yes, I am an elven princess. I'm going to be showing you a little side-by-side comparison of the old cosplay versus the new cosplay, and you guys can judge whether or not you think I've improved in the past few years. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to let us know. If there are any other kind of videos like showcases or tutorials or getting ready videos you want to see, then send us a message, hit us up. You can find us at the CosCast on Instagram. You can find me at Pixiedust on Instagram, and we are also on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Alright, thanks for watching, Fendorkables, and I'll see you later. Bye!